Good morning, tubers. Welcome back for another adventure. You're looking at a $1,200 Craigslist deal. These two guys, they are 1984 Honda ATC200Ms. I bought them from the same person. I believe this one was like $550 and this one was $650. And they both had their problems. This guy here is the one that had the melted piston, right? They ran it so hard the piston melted. As a matter of fact, they cracked the motor mounts on it. I mean, this guy here was just beat up and pounded. This guy here, they put a little more time and attention into. You can see the newer tires on it. Everything kind of matches. This is the one they put the Wisco piston in it, and one of you guys also mentioned they probably put the hotter cam in. We did manage to get this one running and we got it out for a ride, but it's got its own issues and it's got problems too. Anyway, so I have the pair of them and I've been trying to figure out what to do with them. And I decided to turn this guy into kind of a daily driver rat rod, put kind of the worst of the parts on this thing, perhaps hack the ignition and so forth. And then I want to take the best parts off of this guy and put them on this one. So I want to start with Mr. Broken Motor Mounts here. This engine, once again, melted piston. What I did is I swapped out the piston, kind of the top end, with used parts. We managed to get it started from a bench test point of view, but I've never ridden this machine, so I really don't know what kind of shape the transmission and clutch and all that junk are in. I really don't know the shape of the back axle. I mean, it's missing one of the plates on the brakes here. So I want to get this thing put together enough to get it out for a ride, which is the purpose of this video. I'm also gonna, take off all the non-matching stuff and all, try to simplify the ignition system, just get it running as a rat rod. Some of you guys would probably enjoy that video because the state of three-wheelers these days, by the time you find them, being 35 years old or perhaps older, they're pretty pounded and they're hard to bring back to really nice condition. This is the second one with the Wisco piston and hot cam. I want to use kind of all the best parts on this thing. I mean, silly things like this has a dashboard with the top piece on it. This one kind of has the key, right? So I kind of want to, once again, combine anything and create the best possible on this one. I think that Wisco motor has to go. I don't like it. It's hard to shift. It's got a welded shifter and they put it in a bad position. It's hard to start. I mean, it just about tears your arm out of the socket. I mean, it starts and runs and does everything like that it should, but when it kicks back hard. The electric starter, because of the high compression and so forth, is really kind of on the edge of being dead. So I want to get that engine off and get a stock engine on. So turning this back into a riding machine, we got to rehang the motor. First of all, you're not getting the motor in here with the exhaust system on or the electric starter. So take those right off. The electric starter also saves you some weight. So get those off. Then you're able to swing the engine into the frame. You have to come in from the other side, from the far side, right? Then you start out with the top bolt. Hang the engine from the top bolt. So mounting the engine up, none of this is hard. Once you have the top bolt in, you can kind of swing things around, right? I fed the bolts through the engine first, these two, and then didn't tighten them, obviously. Went right through the frame. I put the bottom bolt in and then put the end of this in here, and that gives you the ability to kind of move the engine around a little bit. Slip that bolt in, then this one goes right in, right? If it doesn't, you have a bent frame. From there, it's just a matter of using the Weeble ratchet, and you can tighten all those up easily enough, right? All 12 and 14, so you don't need a whole lot of tools. So while I have this tilted, right, I put the sprocket on. Notice the chain wrapped around it. It goes on easier that way. I mean the chain and everything else. So do that, right? Once you slide the sprocket on, you turn it slightly. You put the outer ring and the 3 bolts. If you want to get a dishonorable mention on my channel, and I'm sure almost every other channel, you weld this, right? Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Anyway, so while it's up in the sky, we also have this problem here. These are the wrong wheels for it. You see 21, 10, 8. If I had to guess, these hubs look like they're off of a 200X, and they don't go all the way on. By all the way on, I mean for the splined area. They don't settle all the way in, so you end up with play. You really don't want to strip out your axle. See how it kind of extends out too far? So all I need is a big washer, and I have a secret place to get those. So I keep my washers in the back of this barn here. By the way, if there's turkey vultures, well, there's deer. If there's turkey vultures, they'll make a bunch of noise. You'll see the camera jump around. And if it's a wolf or a fox, oh, I doubt it, right? The deer is right there. It wouldn't be hanging out if it had any concern for that. So normally there's a bunch of washers. Here we go. Right here. And I just have to smash those in. So you guys could see how loose this is. I put the washer on there. I'll put the spacer and so forth. I'll show you how much it tightens things up. Well, it took 2 of these washers, but everything's nice and tight now. It's not shucking about on the splines. Installing a shifter lever. So simple, but not for everyone. First of all, right, supposedly just find where it splines well and you slide it on. If you have the bolt through, it's not going to go on. And if it doesn't slip on easily, let me show you a little trick. So if you tap a screwdriver onto here just as I've done, you know, don't block the ability of the whole thing to slide, but you just tap it in just a little bit, not, you know, like a crazy amount. Then it goes right on there like it belongs, right? Get the screwdriver out of the way and put the bolt in. That's not the right shifter for this. I'm going to have to move it around a little bit. Hopefully I could get it in a place where once the foot peg's on there, I can move it. I can shift it. Okay, I put the carburetor on it, tightened up everything, left the carburetor loose so it wasn't running right. I tightened the carburetor, it was better. Then, you know, the needle that goes on the bottom of the throttle slide, it was floating. So it was racing, it was stalling, it was rich, it was lean. So I straightened that out, right? I got that little clip straightened around. Portable CDI, portable gas tank. I have to admit, it's warm.
okay. It's not running great, but I managed to stab a seat onto it. I'm missing the left foot peg, so we're going to try not to break anything important here. Are you an upshift pattern? No. Downshift pattern? So, some of you guys would probably ride it like this all day. Good way to break a leg. Yeah, I cut the grass. I'm not running an exhaust system, so I gotta behave myself a little bit. I don't want the neighbor to go all Karen on me. So it went right into here. So that's neutral. It is a downshift pattern. I gotta tell you, this carburetor just ain't right. This is one of the new $10 ones. You know, that Cuban technology from Japan. I think they got the technology just fine. I think the manufacturing still needs some love and attention. Just for a laugh. This carburetor is truly out to lunch. I'm going to have to take it apart and take a look at it. I've already adjusted it. You know, I adjusted the needle valve that does idle. You guys can see we've been working back here, trimming things back. I mean, it was to the point where you would ride back here and it was like one smack in the face after the next. I changed the batteries in the CDI box, so that's not a problem. You know, you could cold start these and bench test them all you want. You really don't find out the kind of shape they're in until you ride them. I probably got a bit of a combo flat in here going wrong. I'm thinking this carburetor is not all included it should be. Only got one foot peg, so yeah, I'm doing some nervous driving. With those smaller back tires, you're running 21 tall. This is somewhat of a hardtail. So, the good news, it made it back here under its own power. the bad news, it's just still not running quite right. So I got some troubleshooting to do. I'll let you guys know what I find. And then it's a matter of, I think I'm going to get all this wiring, all this extra stuff out of here, right? You know, where they cut it off and everything else. I'm just going to get it loose and put a pair of simple switches on here, perhaps. Just perhaps an on and off, one of these toggles, and a starter button. Right, I don't have reverse. I could put a neutral light on it. As a matter of fact, right here in the neutral blank off, I could do that and put the big toggle, one of these toggle switches here. And then other than that, there's just going to be throttle. And I think the front brakes are alive on this thing. So front brake handle should be on this side. Should keep things traditional, right? This is the clutch or back brake if it's a three-wheeler without a clutch. All right, yeah, you kind of get these, and as you're putting them together, you find things and wish you didn't find things. So that's what I'm going through now. Anyway, in the meantime, I really want to thank you guys for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember, feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. You don't know how many you're getting, so get out and have some fun. Bye now.